Hard to make out. I know. I had the clip for that all down below. That was Jonathan Gannon, not Rich Gannon, talking to Kyler Murray right after, literally minutes after, he was signed on as the new head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. I want to talk about Mr. Jonathan Gannon and Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals before we face them in Week 18. First of all, welcome to First Kick Seahawks. Please like and subscribe. It would really help out the channel. I wasn't on last night because I had a health episode. And then I ended up doing some streaming for just gaming last night. If you watch my game streams, you would have heard me bitch the whole time about how I just didn't feel well. So sorry about that. But I'm here now. And I'm not going to talk about scheme. Not going to talk about scheme because I don't think it's important today. What I think is important today is about heritage. I've been talking about the Cardinals' heritage all week. But what I also think is important is just how this team seems to be changing themselves from what we just had with Cliff Kingsbury and Keim. They had Keim for the longest time. I think he was there with Bruce Arians, and Bruce Arians made him look damn good. Keim was awful. And so they're doing this big culture change. And the Cardinals beat the Eagles. I think they beat the Cowboys earlier in the year. And I know that they beat the 49ers the first time that they faced earlier in the season without Kyler Murray, because Kyler Murray's been here the last 7 weeks since they played Atlanta. And since then, Trey McBride, their tight end McBride, has been going off. James Conner has been doing amazing this year. Buda Baker's always doing great. But they're still in a transition period. And so it's kind of hard to gauge exactly where this team is at. And I don't think it's fair in Week 18 to really be like, well, here's their scheme. Because they're just going to throw the book at us. And it's going to be a weird game, I think. They're going to try to play spoilers. If they beat us, they keep us out of the wild card round. And their tagline for the year is buckle up. And if you go to the description below, I have a link to their video, Arizona Cardinals, buckle up. You may watch that. That's where I got that little link from. There's another little thing about Jonathan Gannon as they've tried to advertise him and get the Arizona fans excited. And I'm gonna give you a little bit of the sound of that as we continue. It should be better audio quality, but here we go. This is him meeting the team.
Let's go, man.
Hey, Kyler.
Let's go. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. I was talking about you, bro. Everything I said. Let's go. Oh, man. They said, why do you want to take this job? Well, not many open jobs have a franchise quarterback. That's why.
Like he's kind of cute, right? In like a quirky way, but you don't know if he's authentic or not. Like, is he just awkward? Like, does he not know what to say, so he just keeps like running his mouth? Or is he just a businessman, right? Is he not authentic? I don't know.
Huge football character guy. So the high football character guys have to lead the other guys. Right. Like, it's going to come from me. It's got to come from you.
That's how the message gets passed along.
That's right.
Which, let's go over that again. One more time. Let's go over that again.
The other guys.
He's talking to a different dude
quarterback.
now.
That's why. Huge football character guy. So
I'm a huge football character guy.
the high football character guys have to lead the other guys. Right. Like, it's going to come from me. It's got to come from you.
It's got to come from me, but it's got to come from you.
That's how the message gets passed along.
That's right.
The message has, and the other player agrees with them. The player agrees with them. The message has to be passed along. The Legion of Boom, right? Like, the Legion of Boom were the leaders in the locker room, and Pete Carroll just had the message coming along. And Pete Carroll, a lot of people didn't like Pete Carroll. They thought he was weird. They thought he was a young guy running around. So just keep this in mind as we continue to kind of talk about Jonathan Gannon. How is he authentic? Is he just talking out his ass? What's the thing about Jonathan Gannon?
That's right.
But his message is, I'm not the leader, right? It's not a do your job type of thing. It's, I want to instill you guys to make you guys the leaders.
You know what I mean? Daily actions, man. That's what it's about. You know. What's up, Zach? How you doing?
Talking to Zach Ertz, tight end of the Arizona Cardinals, who's injured right now. But he was a former Eagle, and Jonathan Gannon was the defensive coordinators for the Eagles from 2021 to 2022, but I think he was there a little bit beforehand too, so that's probably how he knows Ertz. Maybe he talked to him before.
Good? What do you think, man?
I'm excited for you.
I know. It's gonna be good. What's up? Hey! What's up, man? How you doing? Good. Good. Shoo, 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 shoo. Shots. Explosives. You can run. Hey, Calvin, how you doing, man? Good to meet you. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. Good player. Good player. I know it. Yeah. How you doing, bro? Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
I also have a link to this video in the description below if you want to watch it.
Good.
Will, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Will, right?
Yeah.
Hernandez. Yeah, big old guard. That's right.
He's just constantly smacking people in the shoulders too, and he's constantly clapping.
Like it. Good. What's up?
He's sizing people up.
That's my Wesley.
Nice to meet you. Yeah. What's up, James?
See you.
Dabbing people up, right?
Thank you, man. Good to meet you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for the shout, dude. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I know it.
Okay. I got another wonderful clip. Before we continue, and actually, I should just where is it? Yeah. I have them all lined up. I'm going to actually share this one in the chat because I forgot to include it in the description below. Jonathan Gannon reminds me of someone. And actually, the whole Cardinals organization kind of reminds me of something as I was doing research on this guy. The videos I posted below, it's kind of like a reality TV show, the way that they film it. And the more you really look at it, it's like The Office. And the more you really look at it, you realize that Jonathan Gannon is just Michael Scott. The awkwardness, the way that he speaks, the clapping, the way that he announces his presence, the emotional speeches that he gives. Because at least when Pete Carroll gives emotional speeches, it kind of makes sense, right? There's a lot of philosophy behind what he's saying. When Rich Gannon is making speeches, we'll let we'll let Jonathan Gannon speak for himself. We'll let this clip go first.
Here are just a couple examples of how Arizona Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon is a real-life Michael Scott.
Who drove over here? Quick, let me see your hands. Who took the bus?
Sometimes I'll start a sentence, and I don't even know where it's going. I just find it along the way.
You have fire in your gut? Did you?
So you have fire in your gut?
called a meeting.
Okay, believe it or not, some of the players apparently like it, with former Eagles receiver Zach Pascal sharing Gannon will sometimes start screaming at him when they pass each other in the hallway to get him fired up. Still not buying it? Take a look at Gannon's reaction to the Cardinals draft process. Wow. You can't tell me this dude's not a joke. Quite frankly, I can't stand him.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
But is there a better comparison than the world's best boss? Here are just a couple examples.
All right. And then it's in the video below where he meets the team, but this is him meeting Hopkins.
Hey! What's up, man?
Sorry, not Hopkins.
Good.
D-Hop.
Good.
Shoo. You're so fast and explosive.
Explosives, you can run.
Oh
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Jonathan Gannon gives the story behind. I'll let him explain it. This is when he was with the Eagles.
Okay, so there's a
That's him
backstory
saying,
to
"Let's
that.
fucking go." Hold on. Let's hear it again. I love this guy.
Okay, so there's a backstory to that. So I was driving in, and the ramp was blocked at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I was driving into NovaCare to work out and do the call sheet. And so this cop sees me, and he's like, "Hey, Jonathan, follow me. I'll take you through and get you to NovaCare." So we're driving, and it's a traffic jam. So he's pulling through, Broad Street, the 4 lanes, and he's pulling through.
Got
And
that cop
so
privilege.
fans see kind of what's going on, and so then they recognize me, and they start yelling, "Hey, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go!" And I'm not going to get into the backstory of that, but there was a theme that we had all week, and so I rolled down my window and I kind of said the theme.
I fucking love this guy. I fucking love this guy. And then he gives this speech to the Cardinals.
Welcome back. Who drove over here? Quick, let me see your hands. Who took the bus?
When he first gets
Did you have
meets the
fire in your
team.
gut? Did you? We're here for a reason. Don't get that twisted. Okay, we're here for a reason to win games. So if you didn't have that fire in your gut, you better light the fire pretty fast. Be who you are. Just understand, I'm looking for killers. Welcome back. I'm very
I'm almost
comfortable
done.
talking to the media. Philly is a very hard media market. We were 9-0, and I did my presser, and they say, "Coach, we want you fired." And I said, "Well, we're the number 1 defense in the NFL right now in every statistical category. Why do you want me fired? You don't blitz enough." I said, "Well, we lead the league in sacks by 30+ sacks. So if you want to come call the defense, and you can have at it." But no, it's cool. They have a job to do, and I understand that. I'm very comfortable talking to the media.
Okay. Okay. That's it for the clips. But I like this dude. I like this dude. I don't know if he's a good coach or not. I don't know if he's authentic or not. But from what I found from him, he makes me laugh. He makes me laugh. Like, you look at Mike McDaniels at the Dolphins. Like, dude's spunky. He's feisty. He says weird shit. And then he goes up to his team and he's like, "Man, what am I doing calling a fucking fade route in the goal line on 4th down? That's on me. I made a stupid fucking call. I set you guys up for failure," right? I feel like that's something Jonathan Gannon would do. That's just some genuine. He just seems like maybe a genuine dude, right? Who's just maybe awkward and maybe not used to being in charge yet. And man, good for him for getting the job. And the theme of their year is buckle up, right? Pete Carroll had like always compete. Kyle Shanahan has his whole heritage with his fucking dad. And he's like fucking fierce and shit. Sean McVay, brilliant mindset and stuff. And then we have Jonathan Gannon, who's just kind of like Michael Scott. Like, unapologetically. And you kind of, at first you're like, this dude's just a fucking dork. But you gotta love him. You gotta love him. And he gets the team to show up. They're feisty. He's got good talent. He said this thing during a video that he doesn't care how good a player is if their ego gets in the way. Something like that. And he really wants the team to invest and focus on players that are focused on, working as a unit, working as a team together. And so if somebody is in it for themselves and not in it as being like a leader in the locker room and working community-wise, then get out. And I like that. I think that's also something that defensive coaches tend to really care about, is that they don't focus on one guy. They're like, the entire defense needs to function, otherwise defense doesn't work. And so I like him. I like his mindset. I like what he brings to the Arizona Cardinals that they've sorely needed since Bruce Arians, right? I don't know how they will go moving forward, but their team was supposed to be a disaster this year, and it functioned pretty well. It's beating good teams. It's performing up to teams that it shouldn't be performing up to. And so when we go up against them this week, we have to take them seriously. We have to take them seriously because they're going to probably play for this guy. These players, they're not going to take week 18 off. They're going to play their hearts out for themselves, for the players next to them, and for their coach. Whereas in the past, it could be they're playing for their contracts, which means that they don't want to get hurt. They're not playing for Cliff Kingsbury. They're not playing for Kyler Murray. They're not playing for the guys next to them either. They're playing to prevent their career from ending. That's not what's going to happen under Jonathan Gannon's watch. And so we need to respect that if we were going to play them and try to actually win. This is like how Dan Campbell, I'm not relating him to Dan Campbell in relations to like what he actually brings scheme-wise and blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about mindset. It might not be we're going to eat your kneecaps, but it's going to be we're going to work together as a family 53-man unit. And we're going to play spoilers. Because according to the Cardinals, fuck the 49ers, fuck the Rams, and fuck the Seahawks. Because we're the Cardinals. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to try to play spoilers. We need this win. And we haven't been able to tackle well all year. Sure, we can rack up tackles down the field, but we're not preventing yak. And then we just got obliterated against the Steelers. Kyler Murray is going to be another mobile quarterback in the long series of mobile quarterbacks we've played this year that we haven't been able to stop, maybe. He's great mobile. And as the footage has shown, Jonathan Gannon wanted Kyler Murray. Now, that could just be him talking out his ass. But it kind of feels like if Kyler Murray painted a picture of the Arizona Cardinals stadium, Jonathan Gannon would buy that picture and cry and be like, this is us. That's our building. Just like Michael Scott buying the Dunder Mifflin painting from Pam. They're going to play so hard for this guy. And they're going to play so hard against us. We have to play good, disciplined football, and we have to rush the passer. Which brings up the next biggest problem with our defense. It's not just that we're not tackling. It's that we're not rushing the passer. Brett Kollmanns. Shout out to Brett Kollmanns. He's creator of the Film Room on YouTube. He's also the co-host of the Bootleg Football podcast. He went ahead and looked at the 10 lowest pass rush win rates among NFL edge rotations. You can find him on Twitter at Brett Kollmann, Brett Kollmann on Twitter, or X, if that's what you prefer to call it. So, these are the 10 lowest pass rush win rates among NFL edge rotations. The lowest in the league is the Giants at 10.4 which is fucking insane. The Rams are the second lowest, which is also surprising because they have Aaron Donald and company there. They have 15%. The Seahawks and the Patriots are tied for the third lowest pass rush win rate among our edge players with 16.4%. Broncos 18, Bears 18.4, Falcons 19.2, Panthers 19.4, Commies 19.7, Buccaneers 20.1, Chiefs 21, Browns are at the highest with 44. It's not good. Part of the reason why we can't stop the run is because we can't contain the edge, and the reason you can't contain the edge is typically reflected by your pass rush win rate. It's both the same. Pass rush and edge play are basically the same. I'm sorry. If you can't contain the outside, you're not going to be able to contain the outside run or pass rush. This is basically a reflection of the run game on the outside. Those toss plays from McCaffrey destroying us. Those run games with Warren and Harris destroying us. Henry to the outside destroying us. And who's on the outside right now? Darrell Taylor. Boye Mafe. Boye Mafe's done nothing since Nwosu's gone out. And we have Jones out there as part of the rotation, sure. Clark got let go, but he wasn't getting any real snaps. It's not good. And so if we want to stop Kyler Murray, we're going to have to do it on the inside. Which isn't going to happen anyways, because we want Kyler Murray to... Because the Cardinals literally want Kyler Murray to escape outside, where our pass rushers are terrible. They're going to hit McBride, and so we need to tackle McBride. We need to tackle Connor. If we do not do these things, we will lose the game. Period. End of story. End of discussion. It will be like the Steelers all over again. I don't know why this is so hard. It's not a matter of, hey, they've beaten us a couple times. They got a couple really good, runs on us. It's every run is a good run on us. Every time we rush the passer, we don't do anything. Sorry. 16.4% of the time when we rush the passer, we do something well. Which is not good. It's basically we're not doing anything. These are like fundamental football things. We're not even average at fundamental football things. So if we're going to go up against a team that's going to play their heart out, that's beating good teams, we might not make the playoffs because back-to-back games, we can't do average football things. And this is why I didn't want to talk about scheme, because I didn't feel like investing time looking at the Arizona Cardinals scheme, knowing full well that it doesn't matter if we won't even decide to tackle. If we won't tackle, and if we won't rush the passer, part of the reason why we haven't been able to rush the passer and win that is because we're over pursuing and we're not tackling the rushers on the outside, throwing everything off. So I'm just begging, pleading, because even if we win this game, we might not make it into the playoffs. That's how bad this is. because their defense has just refused to play good fundamental football. We haven't even put our offense in a situation to succeed. You know? Like, come on. And so against Jonathan Gannon and company, they might play spoilers. And if they play spoilers and beat us outright, and we don't even have a chance to beat them and then not make it in because another team, right? If instead we spend the offseason talking about how we lost to the Steelers, instead of, man, we lost to the Steelers and the Cardinals, it's going to be a long offseason. It's going to be a much longer offseason than, hey, we beat the Cardinals, but we didn't make it in because, I don't know, the Saints won and one other team I think the Rams need to beat the 49ers or something like that. It's something weird. And then we don't make it in even if we beat the Cardinals. But if we don't even beat the Cardinals because they play spoilers, it's going to be a brutal offseason, I say. Anyways, that's all I have for today. I really don't have a lot I want to talk about. We'll definitely have more to talk about as the off season goes on. I'm trying to schedule some fan interviews, and then I'm trying to schedule some meetups with some other Seahawks podcasters. That's on the docket. I have a Rhymemasters Cypher that I need to get to in about an hour and a half. So I just need to prepare myself for that, which is why I'm cutting this one a little bit short. But please like and subscribe. I appreciate you all for being here. And let's go Seahawks. Yeah, let's go Seahawks. Otherwise, it's going to be a long off season.